You just defended the rumor that's out there that Zillow is making money on the advertising. They are not selling leads to agents. They are not making money if the house sells or not. They're not. It's not a referral-based company.
Absolutely not. To be a referral-based company, we have to be a licensed real estate brokerage, and we're not that.
Yeah. So this is how the whole disinformation got out there. So because people who founded a website founded another website, people thought that because things happened one way with the travel website, which really was the travel industry. Expedia is not the travel industry. It was an example of what happened in the entire travel industry and the stock brokerage industry. And the term, for those keeping score, is called disintermediation.
Yep.
And that is a fancy way of eliminating the middleman. It should be noted that real estate brokers are not middlemen. Real estate brokers are advocates. Real estate brokers are guides. Real estate brokers are advisors. Real estate brokers
have a fiduciary responsibility.
They are
well.
fiduciaries.
It's an important point.
And a fiduciary is like your doctor or your lawyer who has to put your best interests ahead of their own. So because this disintermediation occurred in one industry, which has nothing to do with Zillow or Expedia or anything like that, people leapt to this conclusion that Zillow was going to do the same thing in real estate, which, if it was going to happen, would have happened earlier than Zillow was even founded due to this thing we call the internet.
Absolutely.
Okay. And these are historical facts. This is, not opinion. These are events.
That's the way it is.
That occurred.
Yep.
Okay. So, the CEO of Zillow, Spencer Rascoff, who is a highly respected guy in the industry, and when they come out with lists of influential people in real estate, is usually ranked as one, who has gone online talking to the President of the United States about the housing market, has made it very clear that they want to do business with real estate agents. This is the customer. Okay. The other thing he has said is that, as you said, the real estate transaction is not buying shoes on Amazon. It is not booking a flight. It is not booking a hotel reservation. It is complicated. It is expensive. It is rare. It is all these things. It's incredibly emotional. I don't get too emotional about shoes, but Victoria, I'll defer to you on that.
Oh, shoes, that's my topic.
Okay then.
I'll take this whole show off topic right now.
So we'll kick that one down the road. So we'll leave shoes out of it. But this is something where you need brokerage.
Absolutely. I can't imagine buying a house without a real estate agent. No, it's inconceivable.
Okay, so nor can I. I'm biased.
Sure.
But I've seen, we're coming out of a recession. The housing downturn of 08, 09 through 2011, 2012, the worst scenarios that I ran into of people who were in foreclosure, facing foreclosure, short sales, were either brokered or under-brokered or non-brokered transactions. So it's clear
always
to me.
The case.
Yeah. So they didn't have good advice. And so one of the things that Zillow does is they actually connect the consumer with the real estate agent, which is completely contrary to what these, the sky is falling crowd is saying. How does a consumer get connected with an agent?
That's fundamentally, that's what we do. That's kind of our purpose in life. If you talk to Rich Barton and Lloyd Frank, people you were just mentioning, the co-founders, they talk about giving power to the people, turning on the lights, okay, exposing data, and it's just data, okay? The real estate agent and broker have that same data. The consumer has it. The broker is an advocate for the consumer. It's super easy for a consumer to contact an agent on Zillow. All they have to do, if you pull up any property page on Zillow, in the top right-hand corner of the page, there'll be some faces, some smiling, lovely faces of real estate agents. Those are the people that are paying to advertise in that slot. So a consumer can then go and they can click on those faces, and they'll be taken to the real estate agent's profile, where they can find out their background, their training, their education, the past real estate that they've sold, where they work. They can find out all kinds of information. Then all the consumer has to do is click a little blue button on the website that says contact an agent.
And this is very beneficial for the
Absolutely.
The consumer had nothing like this in the past.
No.
They had to rely
They were in the
on
dark.
Right. They had to rely on going website after website after website and doing their own research,
Yep.
and that was exhausting.
It is exhausting. It's incredibly exhausting, and it's just hard to do. So we want to be the place where consumers. We want to be the marketplace. We want to be a place where consumers can look at inventory or products. Those in this case being houses, and they can shop around, and they can just like walking through the mall, right, and window shopping, and you go, oh, I like that house, or I like that dress, or that pair of shoes, whatever it may be. On Zillow, it's homes. And then as you get deeper and deeper into that, and as you get more serious as a home buyer, then you start looking at agent profiles, right, and understanding the real estate agents that are behind the deal that can help you. And you can reach out to them, you can contact them, the agent will contact you back. You start engaging in a dialogue, and the next thing you know, you found yourself a real estate agent, and you go buy your dream home.
Now you used a very, I was going to say powerful word, but I'm going to just tell you what the word was. But you said Zillow empowers people,
Yep.
and I like that because it does. It does not only empower the consumer, it also empowers the agent. And why I say that is because Zillow has grown in the last few years from a real estate website that was really putting listings on their site, but then they started to bring in other affiliates
Yep.
and other tools. And we talked about this when we first opened the show. There's discussion boards, there's advice columns, there's all kinds of good information. But the Zillow group is comprised of the largest real estate and affiliate brands right now that are on the web and on mobile. And those brands include Zillow, Trulia, Street Easy, Hot Pads, Naked Apartments, and I know that
What
there's
apartments?
Naked Apartments.
Okay, so they're not furnished. Is that what you mean?
That's a New York City thing.
Okay.
It is a New York City thing.
Truly is. So is Street
Yep.
Easy.
Yep.
So, and Zillow also houses Bridge Interactive, Dotloop, Moretech, Retsley. These are tools. These are tools that the agent is using,
Yep.
and these are tools that the consumer benefits from.
Absolutely. The real estate consumer won't have any clue, nor do they need to know what Bridge Interactive and Retsley and Dotloop are. Those are just what you said. Those are tools that real estate agents can use to help them be more efficient. And I'll use Dotloop as an example. We acquired Dotloop, I should have looked that up, a couple years ago, I want to say. And Dotloop is a real estate transaction management system. Fundamentally, at a very base level, it helps handle the paperwork that a real estate agent has to deal with. And some of the internet exploded when we bought this company or we acquired Dotloop, thinking, okay, Zillow is now branched from showing listings to forms and stuff. See, they really do want to replace the real estate agent. No. We don't want to replace the real estate agent. We want to help the real estate agent be more efficient. Why? Because out of the goodness of our heart, partly. Also, this is a capitalistic society. The more we help real estate agents be successful, the more money they make, the more they want to advertise. A great website to advertise on if you're a real estate agent is Zillow. So we help real estate agents be more efficient, so they'll sell more houses, so they'll make more money, so they'll write us bigger checks.
And again, this ultimately benefits the consumer because they may not know what Dotloop is about, but if you didn't have that capability, it can get stressful.
And consumers, when consumers get their side of a Dotloop, a transaction management system, they love it. I used a similar system back when I was a real estate agent to send a contract to one of my clients while he was in an airplane somewhere over Kansas, jetting across the country, and he was able to sign his house purchasing documents while he sat on the plane. I was back
in the sky. So he was on a chair in the sky.
In a big giant metal tube, signing documents.
Can I go back to the consumer experience? Consumers looking for a real estate agent. Now, I have lamented about this in my own past, where I was in Best Buy and I saw someone putting one of the salespeople through the absolute ringer about a Bluetooth headphone. And this poor guy who was trying to make a $40 to $50 sale was trying to explain to these people all the things about the Bluetooth headphone. And it dawned on me that these people could be the very same people that put more emphasis in buying their Bluetooth than choosing their real estate agent.
Yeah.
So that takes us to this. When I click as a consumer on an agent profile, it's going to give me that agent's information. And it's going to give me their ratings. We said that,
Yep.
got my interest up. Tell me about agent ratings.
It's technically the reviews. So here's what happens. You're a real estate agent. Phil, you're a real estate agent, you're a broker. You can go to one of your clients that you've just sold a house for, right? And you can say, hey, a lot of my business is based on word of mouth. It's based on my integrity. It's based on being able to help people. And welcome to the internet age where reviews are out there on everything, right?
Yes.
I mean, everything.
I look at the reviews before dinner for car
Yeah,
lines.
and people think about reviews, they think about books, dinner, or places to eat, and movies, right?
Mhm.
Because movies get reviewed, books get reviewed, and restaurants get reviewed. Well, so do service professionals. And that's doctors, lawyers, veterinarians, plumbers, and real estate agents.
Yes.
So we have a platform where a real estate agent can go to their consumers, their customers, their clients, and say, please write me a review. And it's a very simple thing to do. If anybody's ever written a review on Yelp or Google or Facebook
Amazon or something like that,
it's
yeah.
just to say you log in, you sign in, and you fill out a form, and you click some stars, and we have things like speed of service, responsiveness, neighborhood understanding. You rate them 1 to 5 star, and you have a little blank box where you can go in and you can start typing. Phil's an amazing real estate agent. He answered his phone every time. Blah 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 blah. And agents can accrue, in theory, an infinite number of reviews.
And there are agents who have dozens and hundreds of
We have-
5-star reviews.
We have agents that have, I think the top is probably about 700 or 800 reviews for
Okay,
real estate agents.
so-
And that adds a lot of confidence to the consumer when they start reading through this stuff. And there's tons and tons of studies out there that show consumers believe what other consumers are saying about somebody.
Okay.
So you don't know the real estate agent from Adam typically.
Right.
But when you go and start reading what other human beings have said about Phil, the real estate broker, then it just helps in your head cement that, well, you know what, this guy looks like he knows what he's talking about. So I'm going to click the blue contact button and I'm going to reach out.
Consumers put great stock in ratings, so I'm going to play devil's advocate right here. I've seen ratings on Amazon where they say, well, look, I got this for reduced costs for my honest rating. When the ratings or the reviews first came out, I was one of the people who thought it was a bad idea, and I'll tell you why. I was afraid of 2 things. I was afraid of people who were going to make up fake reviews, go down to the library and review themselves, and I was afraid of my competitors claiming that they would be, they were a past client and that I stunk. All right? So what do you do to ensure the integrity of these reviews?
Fortunately,
great
that's a
question.
really, really good question. And it's not
And I have
really,
a follow-up question too.
it's not really evident on the surface, right? When you just go look at reviews, you don't see what's underlying, what's behind them all.
Yep.
We have entire teams of people that check reviews, okay? And by check, I mean we have a lot of technical checks, okay? We look at a lot of stuff that, to be honest, I don't know or I can't necessarily talk about because some of it's proprietary.
Right.
But fundamentally, we look at some things, where the reviews are submitted from, IP addresses, we look at things like that. And we have, most importantly, we have a human being that reads and vets every single review to Zillow that's posted to Zillow, that comes through. So if a consumer goes and writes a glowing or a nasty review about their agent, and clicks publish, it doesn't go to their website right away. It's kind of held back. It's not exposed to any of the public. And a human being goes in and physically reads the review. And we have some guidelines. We don't have like a minimum character count, but it needs to be things like there's no hate speech, and it has, it's of some substance. Okay, if I go and leave a review and say Phil was great, and that's all I submit, we're not going to publish that review because it doesn't help the consumer at all. Now, if I go in and I say Phil was great, he really explained the neighborhood. He answered his phone. He was always available. We bugged the crud out of him, and he was always there for us. So it just, again, it needs to be a substantive review that will give the consumer some benefit, and the agent as well.
So the reviews are vetted.
The reviews are vetted by the human.
Just the way these people looked at the Bluetooth.
Yep.
All right?
Yeah, totally.
So here's the follow-up question.
Okay.
When the consumer goes on and they see the information about their own house is inaccurate and they can claim the listing, as we talked about, what's to keep me from saying that my house has 1,000 extra square feet and it's a big fancy castle?
Well, you can do that in theory, Okay? You
Okay.
can go in there and you can say, well, I wish I lived in a 20,000 square house, so I'm just going to add a 0 to this square footage.
Okay.
Well, why? What have you just done for yourself? All you've done
Raise
is
your taxes.
potentially raise your taxes.
That
You've
is
shoved
true.
it. You've shoved a bad number into the Zestimate, into the algorithm that we
Right.
talked about that calculates the home value, and it's going to skew it. It's going to throw it off. I don't believe we have any technical checks. Well, you could probably not go and say you had a 400,000 square foot home. We probably have some upper limit.
Yeah.
But you could change your home from 2,000 to 4,000 square feet. We wouldn't know about it. We are trusting the consumer to tell us the truth about their house, because not telling the truth doesn't serve any purpose. Right? You can inflate your Zestimate, but so what? Like we talked about, the Zestimate is not as a price. So it doesn't matter what your Zestimate says when it comes time to sell your house, because the market is still going to support the price of the home.
So in short, there's no upside to gaming that.
There's not. I mean, unless you want to print it out and go, look, I live in a 20,000 square foot home, then you're just lying to yourself. But
Okay.
it just doesn't do it serves no purpose.
Gotcha.
Would
Okay.
that change the other homes in the area?
It could. I mean, there's a part of the Zestimate looks at what in the real estate business is called a comparable sale, or like a close by similar type of home. I guess in theory it probably could, but this algorithm is really, really complicated. I mean, it's more than just a math equation. It's reiterated, and we have bevies of statistical PhD people that pore over the Zestimate function. So I'm sure that part of the Zestimate looks at outliers, flyers, right? You go, okay, every home around here is 2,000 to 4,000 square feet. All of a sudden, this 20,000 square foot home pops up. So we're going to go, okay, that just doesn't quite look right. Probably throw that data point out, or at least go in and look at that data point and see if it makes sense.
Right. It would definitely come up as a red flag
Yeah.
because it would stand
Yeah.
out. Yeah, that would totally make sense. And I like the fact that Zillow is using a number of resources. They're not just relying on one resource. So if
Yeah.
a homeowner goes in and makes that one change, it really shouldn't have that.
It's
much
not.
of an effect.
It's a factor, but it's just one of many factors.
Okay, so besides the ratings, what else is the profile of the agent going to tell the consumer?
It depends on it's totally really up to the agent. They have a blank canvas, so
Okay.
the agent can go in and write an about section, where they can go tout their training or what their benefits to the consumer. We have a section of the profile that includes past sales, which is very helpful to the consumer. So if you're looking at a specific area, you see a nice little map with little house icons on it. There are homes that the agent has sold previously in that area. So it demonstrates the agent's expertise to the consumer. Current listings are on that page, on that profile page. You can put a video. Okay, video is super powerful, especially in this relationship-based business, right? Making that connection. It's hard to make a connection through words, so you can stick a video on YouTube, embed that in your Zillow profile, just to express your personality to the consumers that are viewing your profile.
So the consumer can vet the agent.
Absolutely, and should, I think. I think that's
They
one of the
sure
most
should.
powerful features for consumers.
This is really great
It's
information. Thank you so much. We have to go to a break, and we will be right back.
The nation's credit
Okay, so-
repairman, and I want to help you